your girl.
What's up? Get to it, fam. Happy Mother's Day. We want to say happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. Today is going to be a special Mother's Day edition of Get to It podcast. We're going to be talking about some good things. We're going to be talking about what makes a relationship happy and
Yes.
healthy. Mm-hmm.
Happy, healthy, long lasting relationships. Baby,
Yep. Happy Mother's Day, Nikwa.
thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day, Shill.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I also want to say happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there, the young ladies, everybody who has a child or is
Yeah.
a parent.
Yeah.
I
Because
want to
it's
wish you guys all a happy Mother's Day.
absolutely. And before we get started in this video, we did say that we were going to announce the winner of the first Get to It giveaway. So we will be doing that at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned and enjoy.
Yes, it's a drawing. Somebody's a winner.
Yeah, we'll be announcing this shortly. But let's get into this topic today.
Healthy
So,
relationships, baby.
yeah. I mean, let's start with the two parent home, because I grew up in a two parent home. So with my mom and my dad, and I seen, the ups and downs that they went through and the trials and tribulations that they faced. And it was beautiful to witness it, but it wasn't always good. But with a lot of good things, like communication, trust, and boundaries, they were able to, have they was together for like 30 years, girl. How old am I? I'm
Yeah.
30. I don't want to put my age up out here like that though, but I'm up there. I'm lost in my 30s somewhere. you
Yes.
know. But
Me
yeah,
too.
yeah. You grew up with both your parents in your household too, right, Niqua?
Yes, I have both parents in the household. Mine's been together for 40 plus, about
Mm,
40 for sure.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
blessing. That's a blessing, man. It's hard. It's hard. It take to be in a relationship. It really take hard work, man. I really be feeling like it's levels to these relationships. Like you start off on level one where you just getting to know your person, and it's good. On level one, it's kind of good, cause y'all vibing, y'all lusting on each other right now. Y'all lusting. Then y'all
That's
get
that
to the
first
second.
3 months.
Yeah, the
First
first three
three
months
months,
is
baby.
is cake. It's cake. I mean, it should be cake. Sometimes there's some instances where it's like, man, those are times sometimes where you just got to see the red flags and know you got to make an exit because this ain't what it. Because in the first 3 months should be good. It really
The
should be.
first 3 months should be good. If it's not, it's a red flag. Please
Yeah,
understand
that's
that it's a red flag.
yeah. To me, that's level one. Then you get into the level two when you start feeling that person out and you start seeing little things that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
Yeah,
dang, this motherfucker just talk too much, or I don't like the way, he communicates. Like, I don't like how he handles the situations. And it just takes a lot of love and yeah, it
so you
does.
think it's 2 steps to this?
No, it's way more than two. That's just the first two. I then there's level three. Level three, man, some people get stuck on level three. Some people get stuck. I'm not gonna lie, I was on level three for a long time. Like, man, in my relationship, I was like, is we gonna get past this or not? What's going on? But if you feel like your partner is worth it, I feel like, you should fight for that person. If they've got good qualities that you see, that some things you can overlook and there's some things that you just can't,
Yeah.
There's some things that you just can't overlook.
Yeah, because
But
you will ignore the red flags because you feel like you into this person or you've been with this person every single day. So it's like, oh yeah, well I'm around him, I like him, or even that's why they say love is blind because you
hmm,
might think you in love, but you really in lust.
absolutely, I agree.
You when you're around somebody every single day, it's like you get comfortable with that person.
that don't necessarily mean that that's who you need to be with, though. Just because
Exactly.
I think people mistake that comfortability for, oh, this is who I need. No, you're just comfortable. You never went out and tried to find something else. Because
You
that
know what they call that, baby? They call that settling.
that'll say it again.
They call that
Clock
settling.
it, clock it, and we don't want to settle. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to settle. But what I will say is why a lot of people do settle, because these dating streets ain't safe. They not.
They
You
not.
gotta like, these people got whole, extra families, you know, females that's coming out the woodworks, one of the, you know what I'm saying, crazy ones, fatal
Yeah.
attractions. These bitches that just can't let go. Like,
Yeah.
let him go. If that man don't is moving on, you need to do the same thing. You know,
Please don't be toxic.
don't be toxic.
Don't be
Yeah.
toxic.
You know what? And a lot of people, they see the red flags, and some people like toxic stuff. So they see the red flags and they be like, "Ooh, it's like Six Flags. It's like an amusement park. Let me go over here and see what this is about." Like, nah. We want to be in healthy relationships.
Healthy
Healthy.
relationship.
Where your partner knows how to communicate with you through stressful situations where they might not, agree with something that you did, but you need to know how to communicate that with your partner. If you can't communicate that with your partner, then that's, come on, we are all adults. Most of us in relationships are adults. We should be. I mean, there's kids out there, but y'all take notes, kids.
One of the biggest things I can say about relationships that is definitely a red flag and that a lot of us kind of don't see it right away is manipulation.
Oh yeah.
That is a key part of a lot of relationships is the manipulation part.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to understand the signs of when you being manipulated, when you being lied to, you know.
Yeah.
If you see something and you like something ain't right, follow your intuition.
Your intuition ain't never gonna lead you astray.
Because if you feel
It
like
might
that,
lead you. It might lead you down a one-way street, but it ain't gonna never lead you astray.
come on,
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you got to understand and see the red flags, the signs right away. If
Yeah.
you
My
like,
thing
okay, this
is,
1 + 1 is not 2, is not equaling 2. I mean, come on, we all know 1 + 1 is 2.
yeah, a lot of times though, you like you said, you could be blinded by love, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you'll be naive to certain situations. You'll know, like in your gut, like, man, I know this person is doing this or they not doing that, but you want that so bad. That's that settling thing again. You want that relationship, and you really rock with this person, so you want to overlook certain things, but sometimes you gotta address it. Because if you keep sweeping your dirt and your garbage under the rug, that stuff gonna pile up eventually, and then you gonna have a whole load of trash to take out. And they
Yep.
gonna be like, "Well, you never said nothing." You know what I'm saying? You act like everything was cool. You gotta address it.
Right
That's where
away.
yeah,
That's
that's where the
that's one thing that I
communication.
do. That's one thing that I do in my relationships is it's not just relationships, friendships, whatever the case may be. I let it be known immediately. Do not sugarcoat. Oh, I don't want to make this person mad. Listen, you got to always take care of yourself first. If
Yeah.
you don't like being called a certain name, if you don't like how somebody treats you
Treating
or
you,
talk to you, you need to
speak on it.
address it right then and there. The first time. Hey,
Yeah.
look, I'm a woman or I'm a man. Please don't call me out my name. I don't like that.
Mhm.
And then if they be like, okay, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And then they attempt to do it again. That's when you put your foot down and you got to eliminate yourself from the situation. You know what? I told
Those
you
are,
what I liked and what I didn't like in the beginning. I guess you took me as a joke. So I'm going to go ahead and remove myself from this situation.
and you know what that's called in the relationship? That's called setting boundaries. You gotta set them
Come on,
boundaries.
baby. You're on
You gotta
fire.
set them boundaries, baby. You gotta set them early on in the game. Because if you wait cause that's just like, if you know what I'm saying, your man is doing something, and then later on you let him do it. You let him do it constantly, and then like 2 years later, you talking about, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that you doing that. But you've been letting me do it for the past 2 years. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't try to set boundaries now. You got to set them clear off in the beginning, you know? And a lot of us do that. You know, we just, because we be just in on level one, stuck on level one in la la land. Even in level one, you still got to set your boundaries and let people know what you want and what you're looking for and where you trying to go with this relationship, you know? What we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah,
Fellas,
because
when we ask you
everything
that,
is not gonna be peaches and cream.
no, not at all. I seen that with my parents, you know. My parents had a loving relationship, a very loving relationship, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful, and I just love to see how they grew to getting to know each other and working side by side with each other. They was like a team, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like Bonnie and Clyde. What she lacked in, he picked up on, you know? And that's
Yeah.
what it's supposed to be about. Yep.
And a
You
lot of
gotta.
people also get the word submissive wrong, I feel like too.
Oh
They feel
yeah.
like, oh yeah, the guy is in charge and I just gotta sit there and be quiet. That doesn't mean that
No,
submissive
submissive.
could be.
Yeah, go ahead. Break it down for what you feel like submissive is. I'm gonna let you know how I feel what submissive should be too.
Okay, well, submissive to me is like, okay, as far as your, your significant other, let me say that because we do have different gender roles. So, your
Yeah, your
significant
partner.
other, yeah, or your partner. If you with your partner, being submissive just means like, okay, it's not that necessarily that person is dominant over you. Being submissive, submissive is listening, paying attention, and also communicating with your significant other. You know,
Right.
don't just sit there like with me. I saw how my mom and my dad was together, but my mom was she was definitely submissive. They worked together. My dad, he would go out, he take out the trash, he goes to work, he brings home the groceries. My mom was more of, okay, I'm a cook, I'm a clean, I go to work, I take care of the kids. Well, she started working when she wanted to work. It wasn't like, she really, really needed to. But it was like, okay, I'm a cook, I'm a clean, I take care of the kids. Sometimes my dad would take us to school if he had time off of work. My mom would. They would and then they would just come together, and we would always be together as a family. So it's like, it's what really works for you. You don't have to be aggressive with your significant other. To me, it's like you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have
Submissive.
to, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to yell and call somebody out their name and bust out your
Because
windows.
I think that they get it misconstrued. You know, a lot of people think when you submit to somebody, you're letting them take control. The other person, whoever's the one that's being submissive, is giving up the control and giving it to the other person. Which that's not necessarily always true. All it means is that you know your role into this relationship. You know what your role is and what your position is in the relationship. To me, that's what it means. Like if I'm the woman, I'm gonna know my role and I'm gonna stay in my place and I'm gonna let you lead me. That don't mean, but because nowadays it's not so traditional. Sometimes women make more than they men, and it's just like that nowadays. You know the
Ooh,
world is
that is
changing.
one thing, girl. You is totally right. That is one thing I also want to say. Please do not let pride take over your relationship, baby.
Yeah,
Pride and ego will kill a relationship so fast. It's not
for
even
sure.
funny.
Yeah, because you were so prideful and you like, look, I'm not gonna call this person because he ain't called me. See, I can't do that. It's just not in me to
Me,
be
me
like
and
that.
Shell is two different people, baby.
Yeah,
Because
because I know
sometimes,
you could go days. I can't. I be trying to, but it's like I just want to. I'm the type of person that I just want to get over this stuff. I don't want to be in and not knowing what the dynamics of our relationship is. I don't want you. If you mad at me, go ahead and be mad, cuss me out, whatever. But don't not talk to me because I don't like that. Like I need
she's more of the,
a
okay,
communicator.
let's communicate.
Yeah,
But I'm talking
you're
about some years ago. She's more the communicator. At first I was, but I was like, you know what? No. So it was more like, with me, it was more like, I'm just gonna be petty. It's a tit for tat.
Yeah.
And that that ain't gonna work, baby. You know,
Mhm.
especially if you're both bullheaded,
If
or
you're both,
you both
yes,
got a hard
sure,
head.
for
Yeah.
sure.
And it's like, oh no, I'm not backing down. I'm not calling. I'm not
And
calling
that's
either.
what is
Then
that? That's that pride and ego. That's
yeah,
that pride and ego, man.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta put. Sometimes for your partner, you gotta push it to the side. But that don't mean. Look, see, that don't mean always do it, because just because I do that, don't mean that that's always good. Sometimes you gotta be like Nikwa and just put your foot down and be like, you know what? You played in my face too much. I gotta show my hand, because if you keep on letting people in and letting people step over your boundaries, they gonna play all in your face
All in your
every
face.
time. Play in your face. And one thing we don't want to be played. Don't play in my face.
Yeah.
Do not play in my face.
Please
Mm-mm.
don't.
Yeah,
Don't take me as the other one.
exactly. See, that's what people do. They take your kindness for weakness. Just because I'm the type that's gonna pick up the phone and call and try to reach out and make stuff work, some people, I'm not saying everybody, but there's sometimes that guys take that and use it to their advantage. That's that manipulation shit you just was talking about. Oh,
But
they know, if they know
also
you're
when
gonna
you
be available, yeah. Nah.
okay, yeah, especially when they know you're gonna be available. Sometimes though, too, when they see that you are on that type of timing, like, okay, I'm gonna call you. Oh, she gonna call me. She gonna automatically call me. But if you got a good man or a good partner, they gonna understand. Okay, sometimes you gotta give and pull, right? You both people can't be like, oh no, well, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that because it's gonna look like I'm weak. You can't do that in a relationship.
You cannot let your pride and your ego.
You gotta soften up sometimes. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's
But
okay
you
to
know
be
why
like, I'm gonna
people do
embarrass
that?
myself, but is this person am I willing to embarrass myself for this person?
Oh
Okay, you know
yeah.
what? I'm gonna
For
go reach
mine,
out and
I
call.
am. You know, Nick, you know, I done been on some Kim Possible stuff for mine, because I feel like that person is worth it. So I'm a do, you know. But don't play with me. Don't play with me.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you can't when it comes down to a relationship, that's what happens too, is the communication be off sometimes. And it's gonna happen. You're not gonna
Yeah.
always see eye to eye.
That's
You're
what I
not gonna
was
always be
telling
on the
you.
same page.
That's when that's level 3 of that's the hardest level to get over, is this level that we're talking about right now. That's when you're going through all that stuff and trying to figure that person out. And now y'all being combative, and you got to learn how to deal with this person. You know what I'm saying? When they're going through their emotions, when they're on, you know, how can I handle this person when they going through this, when they angry and they upset. You get to see all that, you know.
Yeah. You got to get to know your partner. That's where the communication comes from. A great relationship is always going to come with communication. If you
Yep.
can't communicate with your partner, or you feel like every time they're not listening to you and you're just turning, even if you turning blue in the face and it's
Yep.
like they are just not listening to you, then maybe you have to move on,
Yep. It's all
you know.
about building
But if
a
it's,
solid foundation that you
yeah,
guys, and the foundation starts with, that's the one we talked about, is communication. Boundaries is one of them. The next one we need to talk about is trust. Trust. If you do not trust your partner, that's a hard one though, because it's hard to just give trust. You know, I feel like some people feel like you're supposed to earn it. You're supposed to
yeah,
earn.
for
You don't
sure.
never just give it away. You're supposed to
Okay,
earn
so
that
we're
trust.
going to I'm gonna go on my opinion about trust. With
Go ahead.
me, it's like, it's not, because some people, you just like you said, you got to earn it. With me, it's like, okay, we starting to talk. We just started building into the, okay, we dating, or we're going to get in a relationship. With me, I'm not, to me, you're innocent until proven guilty. That's with me when it comes to trust.
Feel
So
proven.
if you're around me and you talking, and I mean, we're talking, and you sit there and you let me know what's going on, our communication is good, that's fine. But that one time that you tell me, or I ask you a question and you lied to me,
Pretty
yeah, I catch
basically,
you
in
in
a
a lie
nutshell,
and you with somebody totally different
you
or
done broke your
whatever,
trust.
you just broke that.
Yeah.
You just broke that because you didn't communicate that with me.
Because honestly, what is we out here lying for? Like, you only lie. I lied to my parents because I didn't want to get a whooping. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to get on punishment. We grown. You only lie when you
I feel
scared.
like people sometimes in my head, I mean, some people lie just to lie. For some reason, that's why they call that a habitual liar. Like, you just be lying just to be lying. That's just something that's in your nature or whatever. But I want to say probably like at least a good 7 out of 10. If people is lying, is because they scared of that person or they don't want to hurt that person's feelings.
What did Jody on Bad Boy say? I mean, not Bad Boy, on Baby Boy. He said, "I lied to protect your feelings."
I'm out here telling these other girls the truth.
Hey, and I kind of understand where he was coming from when he
Yeah.
said that,
You don't want to
because
hurt
like,
somebody's feelings, but
yeah,
once
but
that
you're
lie,
gonna hurt them even more when you break their trust. And now every time you leave the house, your girl is tripping because you already done, got her thinking that you a liar. So now she doing the extras. She calling you more than usual because she want to make sure your actions is lining up with what you saying. You know what I'm saying? Because you done
yeah.
lied.
You know
But
what's a good thing that a lot of us don't understand is I'm just speaking my opinion and I'm just speaking on me and how I feel. I feel like a lot of women just when it comes down to relationships, they don't know how to be alone. So a lot of them jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and it's like, why
they
do
don't
that?
never have time to heal. Yeah, you're right. Because I've been in situations like that where I didn't give myself time to heal properly, and then sometimes you take that baggage from your last relationship, and it comes with you to into your new relationship, and your new partner is catching all the strays, stray bullets from your who. They ain't supposed to be getting these strays. They supposed to be going to the other person you was just currently with, but now you in a new relationship because you never gave yourself the proper time to heal. So how do we turn this stuff into healthy? Because this is all negative stuff that we talking about. We supposed to be talking about healthy. So how do we get to past those things in our relationship? How do we get past the trust issues when
Exactly. With the
yeah, it's
with the trust issues, if you have something going on, just go ahead and take some time to yourself, heal from past relationships. You know what I mean? And just heal, be with yourself, be one with yourself, because you can't love, literally when they say that, it's the truth. You cannot love somebody if you don't love yourself. Period. You can't
yeah,
love another person. And don't always put somebody else and loving somebody else way more than your own self.
absolutely.
You know? So with the trust and it being healthy, you gotta understand too, it's communication. That's how I look at everything moving forward in
Yeah,
any of
because I feel like to me, communication is the number one
this is
thing.
number one. You
It's
can't
number
do
one because you
anything
can talk
without
about
communication.
everything, every issue that you have, whether it's trust, whether it's intimacy, whether you feel like you're not being supported by if you communicate that, you can get to a mutual agreement or understanding. But if you guys are not talking about it, then what are you doing? That communication is what causes a lot of relationships to go down. Communication,
And
trust
some
too,
people,
but
and with the communication too, some people don't like to be vulnerable, but you got to understand. That's why I say, sometimes that's what I feel about being submissive. You have to be vulnerable sometimes, especially if you're in a relationship and this is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. You got to be
yeah,
vulnerable. I'm sorry. Sometimes you do. I know it's hard because I don't like being vulnerable,
yeah,
but sometimes it's hard.
you really have to know how to navigate through the conflict with your partner. Like, you have to come up with a game plan. Like, you gotta sit there and be like, baby, I don't like when you do this. Like, so how can we fix it? If your partner is shutting down every time you guys have hard conversations, like uncomfortable conversations,
Take a
that's
break.
not gonna work.
I mean, it's not going to work, but
But yeah, you're right.
if it's fresh, if it's
Yeah,
a
some
fresh
people want to
relationship,
do that.
take a
Yeah.
little break, take a little time, back up a little bit, and then come back with the same conversation. Come at it at a different approach. Because some people, it's not what you say, is how you say it sometimes.
Yeah, and what I've noticed too is like everybody deals with conflict differently. Like me, like I said, I'm a communicator. Some people, they don't like to communicate. They want space because when they're upset, they don't want to say the wrong thing. So they need time to cool down and then they'll come back and revisit it. So you just have to learn how to compromise. Like, because my partner is that way. I don't feel like he wants to talk about stuff all the time. He just want to brush it and talk about it later, or just not talk about it altogether. But me, I like to talk about it just to get it out my system and get over with it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Get it out the way. Because the
Yeah,
longer you prolong
that's
it, the longer
yeah.
it's gonna build up in the
That's when
field
the
and
shit
it's
gonna hit the fan,
exactly.
literally, and it's gonna be
Exactly.
funky. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna smell too good.
The truth. It's the God's honest truth.
Yeah. So the next part of a healthy relationship is intimacy. You know what I'm saying? It's intimacy. You gotta have that sexual connection with your boo. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep it spicy. You gotta make
That should always come natural though. That's
it
a
don't
natural
though.
thing
It
in a
doesn't though.
relationship.
It doesn't though. It really doesn't. You know, I've had conversations with my mother. You know, and she told me that because some people have issues like like where they don't have a high sex drive their partner. That's why you think dudes be cheating or some women be cheating because they not on the same sex drive as their partner.
Hmm.
Your partner probably want it all the time, and your other partner's like, nah, I'm not, I don't feel good because everybody don't have the same sex drive level,
Okay.
so intimacy is very important. It should be natural, but it's not always natural. I know I've talked to people where they say that, they don't really, sex ain't everything to them, which it shouldn't be, but it is an important part in your
Definitely. I'm
relationship.
that person. But
What?
that
You
that
what
it's
person?
like it doesn't mean nothing to me, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like with me it's like sex is like just like I said, I feel like it should just come natural. You know
Yeah.
what I
Cause
mean?
you know what? Some people, to me, they use sex
I'm talking
as like
intimacy.
a they use sex as like especially when you arguing, they think that that's like a band-aid or like a problem solver. Oh, let me give you some so and shut you up because you're mad right now. Nah, let's talk about this because I don't want to have sex to fix our problem. Sex is not going to fix the problem. It's just going to be a temporary fix. We're going to feel good in that moment, and then we're going to still have to deal with these problems afterwards, right?
Yep. What's the love language? Figure out your love language or your partner's love language. You know,
Yeah,
that works
yeah,
too.
for sure. You gotta know. I just asked my partner about that. What's your love language?
Cause some people like touching.
Yeah,
They're a touchy
some
feely
people.
person.
Yep, some people
Some
like
people like
acts
to
of
cook.
services. Yep,
Yeah.
some people like acts of services. Some people like giving. Like some people are givers. They like
Yep.
giving stuff. That's how they show they love. They like, me.
Yeah.
I just want you to pay attention to the little things. Like if you know that I like a certain thing, like let me get that for you. Pay attention. That just shows me that you paying attention and that I'm important to you because you thought about that little
Yeah,
thing I
like if
might have
I'm sitting
mentioned.
here and I'm having a conversation with you, we're holding a conversation and I'm like, yeah, I like cheesecake. My favorite color's purple, whatever,
Right.
whatever. And then it's
Yeah,
like,
you come
okay.
with some purple flowers.
And then next thing you know, yeah, you bringing me cheesecake like a week later. Oh, I didn't
Right.
even know
Yeah.
you thought I didn't remember you.
Oh, let's
Thought
talk
you
about
wasn't even
that, baby,
listening.
because let me tell you about my dad, man. My dad used to go get my mom flowers just because. It didn't have to be no holiday. It didn't have to be no Mother's Day. That man would go to the grocery store. We would go grocery shopping, and that man would just go be like, "Let me get my wife some flowers." And I was like, "Man, that because men don't do that nowadays." You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
so some do. I can't say all of them don't, but y'all need to take notes from these old school men. You wonder why their relationships been 30 plus years because they knew how to treat their woman. They knew how to make sure that their woman is happy. My dad said, "Happy wife, happy life." And that's true. And it's the same thing. You still got to make your man happy too. I'm not going to just say that for the ladies cuz women, we still got to make our men happy too. Like if your man ain't happy, then y'all both have to make each other happy.
Yep. Exactly.
Mhm. Yep.
Exactly. You got to.
So go get that woman some flowers just because.
Yeah,
Don't just wait till
exactly.
Mother's Day.
A
She
happy,
should
a
have had
happy
she should have
wife,
had
happy
flowers
life.
all year. You know what I'm saying? She should have had
Yep.
flowers. And women, go take your man to get a haircut. Be like, here, baby, here. How much is the haircut? Like $30. Go get that man a haircut.
Yeah. Cause it's like when you in a relationship, it's a give or take. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you guys are, it's going to be an equal situation. You can't just have it all one way or one sided. It's not going to work. Y'all got to
Yeah.
work together as a team.
It should be because everybody be like, oh, 50-50. Nah, it should be 100-100. You give 100, I give 100. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Why is we putting labels on it? Why I can't just do something for you because that's what I want to do for you because I love you that much?
Mm-hmm. Because
Why do I have to
society,
be like, oh, you paid last week? Well, you got to pay this week. Why I got to be like that? What about, oh, okay, well, you got it in your bank account. You know what? I got this. You know
yeah,
what, babe? You've been
it
paying.
should be a
You've been paying every single time we go out. I got this one.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just so you can not just be like, cause at the end of the day, a real man, he gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay for it. This my woman, but why
But
not
that
just
don't, yeah,
offer?
but you know what
You
it is? A
won't know
lot
if
of
you
these
don't offer.
females, yeah, a lot of these females take advantage of that. Oh, your man is supposed to be the provider. Y'all take advantage of that because y'all don't bring nothing to the table. Y'all don't ask your man, is he hungry? Did you eat? What you eat, babe? You're not worried about his health. As if is he eating right? When the last time you been to the doctor? They just worried about what that man gonna do for them. You still
Mm.
gotta make sure clock it. Let's clock
I
it,
mean,
baby.
I'm just saying, cause my man, when he come home from work, I already know he working a long day. I don't even ask him. I just automatically give him a massage. You know what I mean? Because I
Mm-hmm.
already know he had a long day. Why not do that for my man?
Yeah.
I don't have to ask him. He likes when I give him massages. It makes his day better. And I'm like, how's your day today? He tells me about his day, what happened at work, some of the things he had to go through, some trials, some tribulations, and, promotions and all of that. We talk about all of that.
Yeah.
Celebrate. Sometimes we won't have to celebrate. Sometimes he might have this thing going on at work and he don't really know who to talk to. The coworkers is not coexisting, and it's like, okay, what do you think I should do moving forward with here? Or you think I should go to HR or so it's like it's a lot of communication. You just like I said, you guys got to work together as a team, work as a
Like household chores are not just for the woman. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Because
yeah, for sure.
we providing too. We out here grinding and working. So, honey, can you take the trash out? Like it's supposed to
No,
be a
that's what I
team.
said. It's a team.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
a
what I mean?
team. Like you wash the dishes, I'll cook. I'll cook. You wash the dishes. You take the trash out. Like we gonna
Yeah,
work together.
exactly.
Cause that,
Exactly.
yeah. Cause some of these men be like, oh, women, you do all the housework, but they work too. So you got them doing double work. You go to work all day and then you go home and you cleaning up too.
Right.
So if
Like
I clean it, just keep it clean, honey.
Facts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you get home from work. I get home from work. Okay, what you doing? You okay? Oh, you cooking? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wash the dishes. I'm gonna straighten up a little bit in the living room, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm also set the dishes out so the plates out so you can serve the food or whatever the case may be. It's a certain give and take. You can't just let everybody do the same thing. But some men, some women is different. Like they like, hey, you know what? I'm always gonna take out the trash. That's just something that I always do, and that's what I'm gonna always continue doing. Or you know what I mean? And stuff like
Yeah.
that. If they like doing that type of stuff, then that's just what they want to do. Go ahead and let them do that. But then,
Yeah.
okay, if you take out the trash, okay, well, let me go ahead and wash the dishes, or let me do this, or you know,
Yeah. So it's just all about give and take. You just have to. You just have to really lock in with your partner, and y'all gotta be the greatest. Y'all can't let nobody come in between of what you got going on. Exes, anything. You can't let the devil come in your household and your partnership and try to rock your stuff because it's gonna happen. Especially when y'all doing good and y'all, it's always gonna be something that come and try to tear y'all down. And y'all gotta love each other enough to just you know, really be locked in with each other and be like, man, it's gonna be hard though, like, cause I've been through it, like where just people coming left and right, or situations coming at you left and right and trying to tear your relationship down. But you know, it's just all about, is it worth it? Is that person worth it? You love that person, then you gonna rock it out. You gonna try to fix it. You're not gonna just walk, because the easiest thing to do is to
It's to
just walk
walk
away.
away.
Yeah, that's easy. That's the easy part. Like, okay,
Easy.
I'm out of here. On to the next. But then you got to go relearn somebody else, and you know, you already invested your time into this relationship. Don't settle, for sure. Don't settle. But if you invested a substantial amount of time into this particular relationship, and the qualities in that person are good, like, they love you, know they love you. They might have some things lacking somewhere, like they don't communicate as well as you would want them to. But is that a reason for you to just throw the whole relationship away? Nah, fight for that. Show them other ways to communicate. Teach them. You're supposed to teach your partner. If I'm with somebody, I'll be wanting to learn stuff. Give me some game. Can you teach me? And what can I teach you? You know, what can we teach each other? How can we help each other grow? Not only
Yeah.
as individuals, but as a unit and as a team. How can we grow as a team? How can we be strong?
And
How
be
can we
willing
keep?
to listen and to take criticism.
Oh
Cause
yeah, for sure.
sometimes, you know, you don't like to take criticism. That used to be me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Not necessarily taking criticism, but I would be like, oh no, this person don't ain't talking to me like that. But it's like,
that's no pride, baby.
go, because remember, that's also the part what I said when earlier, when I said it's not it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Sometimes they might come off wrong, or you might think that's wrong what they saying. Like if they tell you like, hey, you got a little piece of mayonnaise on your lip or whatever, you might take it the wrong way. You know what I mean? But really, the whole point is they're
I
telling
don't
you
want
that
you out here looking
because they don't
crazy.
want you looking crazy.
Right. I want my woman to, yeah, listen, I would be mad if I was walking around with that mayonnaise on my lip and you didn't say nothing to me. If
Right.
you was like, so that's a good part. We might not take it, we might think it's bad at first, but if you look at the bigger picture, because he
Yes.
could have had you out there looking crazy, but your
Right.
man love you enough to let you know, hey baby, wipe that mayonnaise off your lip, baby.
And you gonna take it as he trying to talk about you.
He trying to clown you. Nah, he
Yeah.
trying to make sure. Yeah, let your man clown you and not the world. I'd rather my man clown me on the low and get me right for the world. You know what I'm saying? Get me right for these people outside. We can laugh
Right.
and joke and shoot the shit with each other, but don't have me out here looking stupid. That's one thing that I do not want, is to be out here looking stupid. So
Yeah.
yeah, get me right. You can talk about me and tell me, yeah, I got that why you got that mayo on your lip, huh?
So
Yeah, but
sometimes you got to understand that. That's why I said too, sometimes you be in your feelings, and I know now,
it's women.
a lot of these young adults, young kids, they take, they can't, they get
Take
very
criticism.
emotional. They get very emotional and cannot take criticism. You got to
Mhm.
understand that sometimes it's the bigger picture. Cause I get mad sometimes too. Like I'll get
Yeah,
mad,
we
like
all have. We
what they
all
mean,
have.
what they mean.
Nobody's perfect.
But
I,
then I go and I sit down and I
and self
reevaluate. Okay,
reflect.
what did
Yeah,
they tell me?
you
What
self
was they telling
reflect.
me? Right.
Was they telling you anything that was gonna hurt you, or was they telling you something that was
That
gonna help you?
benefit you. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna benefit
That's
you.
what you gotta sit there and listen, because that's why I love the friends that I have in the partners. You know what I'm saying? The friends, the people that are in my circle, because nobody just be like telling me stuff. You know, they're gonna tell me it raw and uncut. They're not gonna just sugarcoat nothing. They're gonna be like, man, you out here, nah, you not living right. You need to change that.
Yeah, I don't sugarcoat. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I understand that it might try and hurt your feelings. She might get a little mad at me. I don't
Yeah.
know. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying? But
might,
then
but
she'll come back
sometimes
and
you
be
need
like,
to
you know
hear
what?
that. Yeah. You need to, because sometimes we don't be in our right mind and we be thinking some with our emotions. So sometimes it's okay to check your friends. You know, you have to. You can't just let your friends just be doing reckless stuff, because that means you don't care. That's low key some hater stuff. I feel like once in your lifetime, you gotta check your friends on their shit, because we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I done been in situations where I'm doing stuff and I might not know that it's the right thing to do, but I got a good friend and I got people in my circle that's gonna hold me accountable, and that's what you need in a partner too. You need your partner to hold you accountable
And when
when
you
you do
do it,
stuff.
understand that it's genuine love.
Yeah, that's
If
love.
somebody if
That's just
somebody
like
is
with your
always picking
kids.
on you, it's a difference between loving somebody and being like, hey, babe, I just want you to be healthy. I want you to
Yeah.
lose a couple pounds. I want you to start eating right.
Yeah, it
It's
ain't
not,
you. Yeah,
but
because
when
this youth will take it as, oh, you're talking
are you
about, you're
calling me
trying to
fat?
body shame me. You're
Yes.
trying to body shame me. No, at the end of the day, you need to get in the gym and get fit. Or you know what I'm saying? If I was a smoker and they were like, oh, you need to stop smoking cigarettes. It's for to benefit you. You know what I'm saying?
You want to
Yeah,
live a long, healthy life. Maybe your partner want that for you. That's why
yeah,
they're telling you these type of things. So just take all of this that we stand into consideration. It's definitely going to be some more game that we want to spit to you, especially when it comes down to relationships. We just wanted to give our insight on everything that's going on as far as like trying to be healthier, trying to have more healthier relationships, more communication, because a lot of nowadays it's more like, people can't even hold a conversation, because I'm definitely good with people. I love people and I love talking to people and seeing everybody has a story to tell, so with that being said, I understand how a lot of people now, they isolate themselves. They be in the house, they by themselves, they be on they be on the internet and so forth. We need to be able to get out more, conversate with people, not being scared to actually hold a conversation, and start meeting and dating people outside in the real world instead of hiding behind the internet. Having
yeah.
healthier relationships and having healthier relationships with other people, because we're all human, but a lot of people do like to judge. And
Baby.
so, do you have anything else you would like to add, Shell?
I do not, but I do want to we about to get into this winner of this giveaway.
Yes,
We're into it.
I'm so
Um,
excited.
yes, we want to thank you guys for getting us to 1,000. I'm sorry. I'm trying to speak it into existence. It's gonna get to 1,000, but we got to 100 subscribers, and we trying to give you guys something nice just to show how much we really thank you guys and appreciate y'all for rocking with us. And yeah, so just stay tuned for the winner.
Yes, and we are so grateful. Thank you guys so much. We will be bringing more content in, but since it's Mother's Day, we just wanted to shout out all the moms.
All the mothers, and a special heavenly happy Mother's Day to my mom. My
Yes,
mom just
Mama
passed
V.
away. Yeah, she passed away on my dad's birthday, January 15th. Yeah, so it's gonna be a rough Mother's Day. This is my first Mother's Day without her, and I just want to tell you, Mom, I'm just out here trying to, make you proud while you up there watching over me, and I love you so much, and thank you for teaching me and giving me these good qualities so I can, be a good woman like you were. And yeah, love you, Mama.
Love you, Mom V.
We love you, Mama V.
Yes, baby. She was a great woman. She was
She
a
was.
really, really great woman.
When I tell you that woman cooked, clean, she kept her man together, she kept her house together, she kept the kids together. That's a real woman. And I seen that growing up, and that's what it was installed in me, like how to become the best woman, She was on her business, she took care of the house. She was just an amazing person. Was she
All
perfect?
around.
No. Nobody is perfect. But
Nobody.
that woman, she was strong and she did what she had to do for her family, and her family was always number one. And she loved her husband, and she loved her husband so much that on his birthday, God called her home, and she went up there with her man. You know what I'm saying? That's some Notebook type of love right there.
Notebook love, baby. That's
Yes,
that
Notebook
notebook
love.
love.
It is. We just want to give this episode to you, Mom. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? This is for you. This one right here, baby.
Happy Mother's Day, love.
Yep. And to happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there, and all the everybody whose mother is not with you guys anymore. You know, take the time out and just cherish those moments and those memories, because those never die. The memories that you have with your parents, they are always gonna live forever in your hearts. So we thank you guys for tuning in, and to the next one.
And giving us hearts up. Thank you.
Yeah, purple. Thanks for the purple. We see all the purple, pink hearts, the
Red,
white hearts. We love them.
blue.
Yeah, we loving it. We loving it. Thank you guys
Yes.
for rocking
Until
with us and
next
stay with
time,
us. Yes. Till next time. Let's get to it, baby.
get to it.